How's it going, guys? Welcome to the Blue Shifting. Now, I know you guys are probably waiting for either my Brandon Sanderson special video, letters from the Cosmere. It's coming, I promise. I'm working on it right now. Or you may be looking for the Otaku Awards, which is due like this week. And no, I'm not doing it this week. As you probably know, I got sick last weekend, and that stopped me in my tracks for keeping up with my Otaku Awards. And I wasn't going to do it this week, but as many of you might have noticed, today's my birthday. Well, at least recording this is my birthday, and I feel like doing something a little bit more fun than just the Otaku Awards. I mean, that's fun in itself, but I've got a lot of stuff going on right now, and I figured let's just do something just, random. So I've decided to take you guys on a tour of the 17th Shard. Now, if you don't know, 17th Shard is the online forum community for all the fans of Brandon Sanderson. I'm sure many of you have heard of that before, and it's probably why you clicked on this video. Now, there's a lot of cool stuff here, and if you haven't, I strongly recommend you go ahead and make yourself an account. If you're a fan of Brandon Sanderson's works, whether they be Cosmere or non-Cosmere, he's got his youth books, he's got the Reckoners, he's got tons of other things to work on, and they have a community here. There's a lot of really cool things. They have podcasts, and they get updates regularly of Brandon Sanderson and what he's doing, and they archive a lot of the things he says at cons. So if you ever want to look up a quote or some obscure reference that you've heard about existing that you think you want to confirm, like, this is a good place to start. And one of the cool things here is then under some of the general discussion, you get some of the really fun forum posts. For instance, or Would You Rather Sanderson Edition. Now, that's what we're going to be playing with today. So, spoiler alert, this will be talking about topics assuming that you are somebody who's caught up with all of Brandon Sanderson's works. Now, I've read some of these questions ahead just to kind of, see what it would be like, and I don't think it's going to be too outwardly spoiler-ish, but if you haven't caught up with the books, you may not understand everything that's going on, but that's okay. I invite you to stick around anyway. So, join me now. If you enjoy it, make sure to go and make yourself a profile, and you can actually follow me on 17th Shard under the name TheBlueShifting, same name as my YouTube channel. And if you follow me on there, you will also see me posting my letters from the Cosmere. I post it every time on the website, and I also post a transcript there, like the written version of the letters from the Cosmere. So there's that. But let's dive right into it. So as you can see, 17th Shard, looking great. And this is Sanderson Would You Rather. Somebody started by Night Radiance a while ago. I have a feeling there's multiple posts like this, but it goes on for a while. So we're going to go through and talk about some of the questions. I'm going to answer them in my way. See if you would answer them in the same way. Let me know in the comments below if you agree or disagree. And I will kind of go a bit randomly. So, because there's literally pages and pages of this stuff. So let's get started. So he kind of introduced himself, and we just kind of jump right into it because, would you rather, you just pick between the two, and you're supposed to give your reasons why. Now you also will see that they will have a response to the question above when they post their own question. I'm going to be focusing on just the question, so you may see some disconnects as I do some of the editing to cut this through. So he starts with the easy one. Would you rather be a light weaver or a wind runner? That one's pretty easy, like he said. For me, it'd be a wind runner. I mean, light weavers could be fun because you can do things like soul cast, and that's pretty freaking awesome. But it'd be really cool to fly, and that would be hard to top. I don't know. It almost seems like dumb of me because I understand how powerful Shalon could be, but wind running would be a lot more fun. Would you rather be the 8th Heightening or a Lerasium Mistborn? Okay, so 8th Heightening is Awakening, and if you've achieved past the 5th Heightening, which is about 2,000 breaths, you have effective immortality. 8th Heightening, you're starting to push the boundary of what's understood of Awakening, but like you could use it instinctually, I believe, at that point. So you can literally make objects come to life and use them and then pull the breath back. Or be a super strong Mistborn. I honestly think for that, I would pick being Mistborn. Like, 8th Heightening and effective immortality, pretty cool, but a Mistborn I feel like would be a lot more useful. And I'm not entirely sure if I'd want to live forever. I mean, that's tough. Yeah, I think I'd stick with being Mistborn, but The long life is tempting for sure. Here's another version that looks very similar to the first question. Would you rather be a Windrunner or a Twinborn of your choice? Now, if you don't know about that, remember the Twinborn is where you have a alchemical power and a ferrochemical power inside of you from the Alloy of Law series. Now, the big thing about that is compounding, where you can take if you burn the same metal in both types, you can effectively make yourself never run out of the abilities of either one of them, because you can, well, I mean, there's limits to burning metals, but you can then gain like almost unlimited power of your ferrochemical, because you could just burn up and then store out tons of energy all at once. And it'd be interesting, but I think I'd want to be a Twinborn both steel burner, because a steel burner can do pushes, so I could effectively like do the flying and be a coin shot, but I'd also be able to use speed, like physical speed, and I'd have pretty much unlimited physical speed. I'd be the Flash. I mean, that'd be amazing. It couldn't really top that very much. In fact, I feel like it'd like live in a world that was slow motion, where like you never would have to slow down, so you'd always just be like looking around and kind of seeing what people are doing. Like they'd be like partially through their actions, moving slowly. It'd be really cool. Would you rather have a Lazarian bead that you can burn, or have Nightblood with a few hundred breaths? Okay, that's easy. I'd rather have the Lazarian. That's what can turn you into a Mistborn. I'd rather have that because, first off, Nightblood, terrible. I would not want him around. He makes people puke, or he kills people. Like, Will, he's always wanting to kill people all the time. And a few hundred breaths. With Nightblood, that'd be like 4 seconds of use before he'd consume your soul. So, not quite what I'd want. So I'll take Lazarian Bead, easy. Would you rather have a Scion or a Spren, which will talk to you but won't bond with you? Oh, okay. If the Spren can't bond with me, definitely a Scion. Scions, they're floating floating symbols, and they can talk to you, and they're really intelligent. Spren, I mean, they're fun, but if it's not bonded to you, most Spren are kind of dumb when they can't bond. That's part of the reason the bond exists, is to keep them, to make them alive, to make them more, like, intelligent. And so it'd be tough not being able to talk to something intelligent, where a Scion is. Would you rather fight a Chasm Fiend with a Shard Blade, or a dead one specifically, or be stranded outside in a high storm? Well, shoot. I think I'd rather take the Chasm Fiend on with the Shard Blade, because I know I possibly could survive that. Probably won't, but I could. Whereas being outside in a high storm, unless something amazing happens, I'm gonna die. Those high storms don't mess around. Alright, would you rather be an Edge Dancer or an Else Caller? Now, we don't know much about them quite yet, just basic. So Edge Dancer is the same as Lift. So you have the power of progression, which is like making plants grow and making limbs regenerate and that kind of stuff, so healing. They also can work with friction, so you can either make yourself more or less frictioned, which is pretty cool. Like, there's a lot of fun tricks you can do with if you mess with friction. I'm studying physics, you kind of get to know that stuff. Or an Else Caller. Else Caller is what Yasno is, where like the Else Callers were able to teleport and to transport themselves through Shadesmar, like in and out of it physically, and they could also soul cast. So definitely Else Caller. I mean, you get to teleport and you get to soul cast. Free, sign me up. Would you rather own a Shard Blade or a Lifeless or two? Now that's a good one, because a Shard Blade is freaking awesome. I think personally, like, my instinct is to say, like, yeah, I'd rather have that. But I mean, if I'm not actually going to be in combat, which I hope I'm not, a Lifeless or two would be more effective. Like, they could help around the house. But I mean, a Shard Blade would be really good. I think I'd still pick the Shard Blade. There'd be a lot of like fun. Like, it can be very useful as a tool, considering it can cut through stuff like it's nothing. Would you rather have the Third Heightening or be a Tin Savant? Third Heightening. Tin Savants are amazing. That's Spook during the third Mistborn book, Hero of Ages. But it also would be horrifically painful to live like that. And, like, let's be honest, it's not fun. It wouldn't be enjoyable in any sense. However, the Third Heightening, I mean, colors are more vibrant, and you understand tones properly, and you can awaken things with a reasonable ability. Like, that'd be nice. A much more pleasant way to live. Oh, this one. Would you rather have to choose one Sanderson book to be the only book that you read for the rest of your life, or not be allowed to read any Sanderson books for the rest of your life? Fetch. Well, obviously you'd have to pick the second one, but, like, that would suck. It would be a horrible thing to have happen to you. Gosh darn it. Would you rather serve odium or ruin? Well, they're both gonna kill you regardless. Though we have implications that if you serve odium, you technically live forever. Where ruin, I think he would just use you until you're dead and then you're done. So I'd pick odium, but I wouldn't be happy about it. Would you rather be a part of Cosmere's crew or be a part of Bridge 4 after they've been freed? That's a good one. Ooh. Because Kaladin's crew, like, I'm going to assume when they say Kaladin's crew, we're talking about the inner circle of Kaladin's crew. Because you could easily be someone who's being hired by somebody else, but Kaladin's crew himself was the people you see in the book. You know, the Vin, Breeze, Ham, shoot. I can't think of their names off the top of my head. I know them, Doxson, Spook, Clubs, you know, all of them. That's the crew. That's the inner circle. Bridge 4, they're pretty awesome. They're a group of, like, soldiers, and they're well trained and they work well together, but I gotta go with Cosmere's crew. I mean, come on, Cosmere would be the funniest thing to watch. And it was also, like, I don't know, it looked like a lot more, like, excitement and fun, and a lot more cleverness with Cosmere's crew. Or Bridge 4, they're genuinely good people, but they're kind of, like, that's pretty much all they got going for them. And life would be, well, it would be exciting, but it'd be only combat oriented, whereas Cosmere's crew is more about, like, outsmarting people and that'd be cool. Would you rather get marooned for 2 months on an island with only a Xanthid for company, or spend 1 month as a Chull? Oh, that would suck. I'll take the marooned on an island with a Xanthid. Xanthid's a big, creepy, tentacly monster thing, but they're nice. Would you rather be a full Feruchemist or a Mistborn? That's tough. I like Mistborn a lot. They're really good. Full Feruchemists, however, like, would be more practical because they store up stuff over time and then use it later. Mistborn, oh no, still Mistborn. I'm sorry. Being able to do things like leap around, pushing and pulling, and also being able to manipulate people in the mind. Too much. Couldn't give it up. Would you rather be a post-Cassandra Koloss, so after the fall, Koloss, or a Final Empire era Kandra? So Koloss, big giant blue things, which gain intelligence after the whole Cassandra thing, like they become more free, or a Final Empire era Kandra. Well, the Kandra live forever, so if you lived during the Final Empire, it would suck while you were there, but they pretty much made it through to the end. Spoilers. But Kandra, I think I'd pick Kandra, because despite the fact that their life kind of sucked, they still were kind of their own selves. And a Koloss, that would be a rough life. Especially if you were aware of your own heritage. It was not pleasant. Would you rather that the real world had lesser spren, or that it had mists? Oh, well, that's easy. I'd rather have lesser spren. I mean, it'd be hard to hide your emotions with spren. That'd be really challenging. But the mists, I mean, the mists didn't really do much besides begin obstruction. I mean, they were cool and all, but only if you knew how to use them. Ooh, this is a good one. Would you rather go on a one-on-one battle against Seth or Kelsier? Kelsier? But, well, I don't know, you're screwed either way. But Seth would be a quicker death? But, I don't know, Kelsier, I feel like Kelsier, I might be able to convince him not to kill me? I don't know, that's a hard one. Would you rather have the Alethi think you'd stolen a shard blade, or have the Parshendi think you ate their dead? You didn't eat there, they just think you did. Now, this is a tough one, because Parshendi respect their dead bodies of their fallen. They would be outraged, and would probably go into bloodlust to try and kill you. Alethi stealing a shard blade, you'd be in trouble, but I think I would have them pretend I stole a shard blade because A, I technically would be dark-eyed, so it'd be kind of proof that I hadn't stolen the shard blade, and B, did I say A or 1? I don't know. B, I think they would be hesitant to come after me if they thought I'd had a shard blade. They would probably think twice about it, so it would give me some time to try and prove my innocence. Would you rather have Wax's or Wayne's twin-born abilities? Ooh, darn. Ooh. I think I take waxes. I mean, I love time manipulation, which is, you know, Wayne's big specialty, and healing. That's a potent combo. But being able to, like, leap around and fly, especially with being able to make yourself lighter at the same time, like, oh, brilliant. Plus, I wouldn't. It would just be fun to be able to control your weight. Of course, not like your body size. It's your weight, as in like how much gravity is pulling on you. Like, I think that's kind of the running theory, anyway. Would you rather get by as a returned on Nelthus, as with a dedicated group to feed you breaths without the people's consent, so threats, ransom, and taking slaves, the works, or return stranded on Roshar and our dirt poor in spheres? Well, okay, that's pretty much saying, first off, do you want to be a horrible person by extorting people to keep you alive, or do you want to only live for 8 days on Roshar with no money or means to do anything? I'll take 8 days, because I don't want to be sucking people's breath out of them for just to make sure I stay alive. And on Roshar, you know, a strong, handsome, and 7-foot tall person probably could get by pretty well in 8 days with a little bit of money. That's just probably the truth of it. Which would you rather? Be a Mistborn, but it being, I'm gonna try and fix the English for this one, but it having to be through hemalurgy, so you have to spike the people yourself to get their powers. So you don't actually have all the powers of a Mistborn initially, you literally steal them by killing people. Or be a returned, but have to convince people to voluntarily give you their breath so that you are always a breath away from dying. You cannot use any other means to sustain yourself. Well, I would probably take the breath, because at least they're not dead. And, you know, worst case scenario, I fail and I die. You know, I fail to persuade people to give me breath and then I die. Hemalurgy sucks. There's nothing good about it. Alright, now let's do one more. Would you rather be Seth's next target? Or be an assassin trying to kill Elend on Vin's watch? Oh, not much better. In other words, would you rather fight Seth or Vin? Well, I'm gonna die either way. I'll try and fight Vin. Because, once again, if I'm gonna get killed, I might as well be killed by someone I like. But yeah, so lots of death in this one. Hopefully you enjoyed this as much as I did. It was pretty much a pleasure to be able to just goof around with you on this one. Thank you so much for being a part of this channel. You are what make this channel so great. I've had so much fun, and I love hearing your thoughts. So let me know, are there any of these questions that you really liked? I'd love to hear your answers or reasonings as to why you chose what I would choose, or what you would, or maybe the opposite of what I chose. It'd be fascinating to hear that. But thank you so much for joining me. It's wonderful to talk to you. And until the next video you see me in, or whatever you see next, I'll see you there.